My name is Anna Mae Gordon, and I am the producer, co-director, and an actor in Hot Snacks.
My name is Julia McGarry, and I'm the writer of Hot Snacks.
I'm so excited to be talking with you all today about your pilot, Hot Snacks. First of all, let's talk about how long you all have been in the industry and kind of doing this, and tell us a little bit about your journey.
Sure. Well, I finished grad school for theater directing in 2018, and since then have been kind of working through trying to find my footing as a professional actor, and kind of trying all the different modalities of that. I've been directing on the side as well. Had a short film kind of mid-grad school that was called Dressed as Girl, which was my first experience with film. So I've been kind of interchanging both directing and acting, and have done some musical theater, trying to just find my footing in many different avenues, as a performer as well as a director. And so, yeah, Hot Snacks kind of was the culmination of kind of feeling frustrated with the traditional route, and kind of wanting to combine those two things, the directing side as well as the acting side, and kind of, form my own thing. So collaborated with Julia on the content of that.
Yeah, and I'm a little newer to working on film. I started doing improv in 2019, and I've always been a huge fangirl of comedy, and was really kind of going back on the improv for a while. And Hot Snacks is actually my screenwriting debut.
Wow, I love it. Well, congratulations. And we've got multi-hyphenate type, directors and writers and actors. So you're doing it all. I love it. So tell us the inspiration behind Hot Snacks. I watched it and I felt it was kind of like sketch comedy a little bit.
Yeah, definitely sketch comedy. When I guess it's honestly just I'm kind of in my head a lot. I'm a thinky person, and it's just sort of based on real life experiences that are really, really exaggerated. So little moments between people that I find a little bit awkward or strange, and I don't always have the words to explain why, but something about it just feels funny, and then I'll fixate on those interactions later and turn them into comedy sketches.
It's kind of cringe in a way, some you're watching it and you're just I'm getting these cringe kind of comedy feelings. So that makes sense that you fixate on these awkward interactions that people have, and you're that's funny. That would go great in a sketch. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of cathartic way to turn experiences. I find a lot of things awkward in life, and it's nice to kind of get it all out in a lighthearted, fun way.
Right, and I feel being awkward has taken on its own thing in the past few years, where you're really seeing such a bigger surge in awkward characters, and I think they reflect everyday life, and it's very, very normal, even though it's funny, but that's really how normal people are. We have these awkward moments and these awkward interactions, and I feel everybody can relate. But the name Hot Snacks, where did that come from?
We talk about that all the time. Yeah. I think at its core, it just has a fun ring to it. We also kind of like the play on words that a snack is, it's not a whole meal, it's a little thing. And these are sketches, so it's not a whole narrative episodic thing. It's little snacks, little sketches. And we also kind of like that sometimes you refer to cute people as snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's lady-based kind of perspectives, and then there's also some of the encounters are sexual, and so there is kind of that aspect to it, the double entendre there.
Yeah, I see it. Okay. I was like, that's so, and I love the animations that also were in there as well. And, you know, even though it was short and sweet, it kind of like encompassed a few different things, not just the sketch and not just the comedy, but even kind of the animation in it as well. Really liked it. So tell me, what inspires you to really like make this a pilot and, you know, submit it out, especially to SeriesFest? Why not just already upload it and just do like YouTube? What made you want to really focus on like doing this independent pilot?
Yeah, I mean, I think what it started from a place of just pure like wanting to create something and just like fun. Like we've been kind of like really very close friends for a very long time, and it was just kind of like wanting to like just create something, and like I wanted as an actor to create footage and just like make something. But then the writing was really good, and then we were like, okay, maybe let's up the quality of what like the sketch format could be with, you know, let's try to make something sort of like pseudo cinematic with it. And then one thing led to another, and then we had this like these three of many sketches that Julia has written that seems to fit snugly into perhaps like the duration of a short first episode. And you know, Julia is constantly creating content, and we're kind of like always kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. We're also roommates.
So this creative process happens probably like all the time in the middle of the night because you're roommates. Yeah.
It's like based off of like weird things that like an argument we got into about like something, you know, like it's very kind of organic in where the humor comes out of just like our interactions sometimes.
We'll be like having conversations and I'll be like, wait, is there a sketch in here?
So I think, anyway, the point though, to answer your question, is that I think that just very organically we see that there's like more content to be made here, and that we find joy in doing it. So I think we sort of kind of sank our teeth into like sort of the investment of wanting to, you know, really see this through and try to create more. And so SeriesFest definitely felt like one of the best platforms for that type of, you know, those types of goals. And so we're really stoked to be a part of this.
Yeah. Well, that's just one thing that we really we champion, especially, you know, independent creators. We want to make sure that these creators have an opportunity to get their work seen, and you just never know who's watching, but it doesn't always have to be on like a big, huge screen, you know, especially. Could you see this like on a platform? Like, do you have some place in mind that you would think like, I would love to see this on this network or on this platform?
That's a good question. The biggest ones there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any in mind specifically, or?
I can't say that I do, to be honest. But we would love to make an entire season of a show from this. So yeah.
And I think also though, like at the core though, we've really enjoyed kind of creating our own voice out of this too. So I think that's a part of it, like putting that first. And so if that just means like releasing it all on YouTube eventually, like right now it's all been private pretty much, but if that means just like releasing it however we decide, like we just want to stay true to whatever we're making here right now.
Yeah, no, I love that, because that's really what this whole thing is about, honestly, and being a creative, but especially with SeriesFest, is that being true to your authentic voice. And for some people, it's like you're just discovering it, being that this is your, you know, writing like debut. This is your chance to really like see what you like to do tonally. And it could just be the first of many projects to come, which I have a question. Do you have anything else that you all are working on or thinking of doing or creating yet?
Well, I don't want to, I know you can speak to this, but I know Julia's been like, she's been writing more sketches for Hot Snacks, and that's been like a big focus. But since starting this project, I've gotten more interested in comedy and have been doing, starting to write and do a little stand-up. And then tangentially to that, I'm writing a play right now it's actually like a dark comedy. So, because my background has been more so in theater. But what about you, Julia?
Well, yeah, still writing different sketch ideas and sketch scripts, mostly for Hot Snacks. And yeah, it's a little bit hard, to kind of do the improv thing right now with all the quarantining, but we're starting to come out of it. So I'd love to kind of get back into that soon.
Yeah, no, and that's great because it's like this is an opportunity when you're able to submit and you see your stuff on the screen and so many people are seeing it. It really does inspire you to like, okay, so what do we do next? Now, how can we add on? And the positive feedback I'm sure you all are going to get is going to be super, super inspiring. And are you like, would you guys be willing to take like scenarios like, hey, I had this interaction that happened to me once. What do you think about that being in your sketch? Would you like take feedback?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would depend on the scenario and if it resonated. But that's very much like how a lot of the sketches came to be. Like I have been the writer, but a lot of it was collaborating with Anna and also the other director, Lewis, and our DP Adam. So definitely open to kind of collaboration and taking feedback.
Yeah, getting some collaborative ideas because I'm going to tell you the first sketch of Hot Snacks where she's asking like, do I need a jacket? And it's like, you're fine. You're great. And it kind of just felt like just vibes, just go with the vibes. That's immediately what I got because that's where we're at right now, and everyone is just like just vibes. It's like, what does that? Do I need a jacket? Am I going to be cold? That's what I want to know. Just okay, you're okay. Was that something real that happened?
That was freshman year of college. That was a real conversation that we had. Again, it's super blown up. But I was definitely in some sort of headspace. Anna asked if she was going to be okay in a jacket. I was like, you'll be fine. And then kind of immediately realized what she was actually asking and felt very embarrassed, as opposed to, Carol in the sketch who gets really intense about it. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I just need to know this one thing, but yeah, and she started crying. I loved it. It was hilarious. And then the second sketch where it was like the guy is pretending to just speak so deeply and speaking so positively in a non-catcalling way to the women, and finally his true colors come out. And I wish that was actually something that I experienced at least once, where someone is pretending to be genuine, before they end up really like catcalling. Was that also a real scenario?
Yeah, that was kind of a mix of things, but there was one night that I was going out with another friend who is very charismatic and is a great storyteller. And we were just walking on the street and she was telling me really funny stories, making me like crack up. And two different guys, one was like, I love your energy. And one said, you're a great storyteller. And I had like, I'm never catcalled about my storytelling abilities. What is happening? So definitely that was like the main inspiration. And a little bit also just how it can be strange when men catcalling you. You can't kind of help. Sometimes they say things that are charismatic or stick out, or we're both humans, but it's not interaction you don't want. So yeah, there's a lot to kind of play with there.
There's just so much that you can unpack, even in his whole like monologue of like what of what he's saying. And then we have the final sketch of, oh my gosh, and I think that one just really spoke to me personally. For details, we won't go in on this Q&A, but
very cringe.
Yeah, very cringe. But the moment, the emotional baggage of a guy or person that you're talking to and dating, that they suddenly just say, here you go, and just try to drop that. And you're like, what do you even do? What do you even say in that situation? I mean,
there have been like a lot of like so many women that have said like, yep,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know.
I felt very vulnerable with that sketch because I felt like I kind of thought maybe there is something about me that attracts this kind of unloading, and then I very much the response from the sketch just made me realize, no, this is just something that a lot of women go through. It's nothing about me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's super relatable, and yeah, that one definitely spoke to me. So I cannot wait to see more little like sketches, just the nuances of like being a millennial and a woman, and just kind of navigating, and just kind of random interactions that people have. I can't wait to like see more of that. And now with COVID going on, and though we're kind of loosening some of the precautions and everything, do you all see yourself doing some more production for it this year, or taking a little more time off?
I think it's so definitely as soon as we can. We this was all kind of like self-funded and just sort of like one weekend of crazy with like ultra low budget with a bunch of people like doing favors for each other, so very fortunate to have my brother co-directed with me, and like my distant cousin was the DP. So it was a little bit of a family affair as well, and they're Tisch graduates, and they brought in some of their people. So it was, yeah, I would say that like with the right resources, so like artists can be paid, I would say like absolutely we want to see if we have sort of like a season 1 mapped out. So we definitely are interested in creating, at the pace that we would, the pace that's reasonable with the resources we need. But absolutely we intend to make more.
Yes, that's awesome to hear. That's good to hear. And I really liked how you touched on the process of being an independent like filmmaker and a creative. Like, you're bringing in the resources, the people that network, super low budget, but this right here proves that it's possible. And for you all to do that, even though didn't have all the resources in the world, it wasn't being backed by like a major studio. That's people watching this and watching the festival and watching your pilot. Like, it's really going to be inspiring to see like, hey, we did it. We just tapped into our network, and we're going to keep doing it. And that's the whole point, and why I personally love independent pilots, because it just really shows like the grit of your baby coming to life. So thank you so much for sharing with us, and we cannot wait to see more hot snacks on the screen.
Thank you so much. This was really cool.
Thank you so much. We're so excited and thankful to be part of this.
Yeah, no problem. And have a good one.
You too.
Bye.